I want to go through a sales cycle, this is the simplest way for me to break down how to be a badass in sales. No matter what business you own on here, no matter where you're at, you are going to have to sell something. I can tell you that for free. Diamonds Tel Aviv, go from Tel Aviv, fucking go to sleep. Okay, so step number one in sales is the pursuit. Write it down. You have to be prospecting. If you're sitting on your like a fisherman waiting for something to bite and you're not a hunter like a freaking lion out there hunting, you're never gonna get the life that you want. But on the other side of it, I want you to write this down. You have to identify and connect with your ideal prospect. Think about what your ideal client, where do they hang out at? Where are they? What do they look like? Now also think about the ones that you really like. Let's talk about, you have regular customers and then you have VIP customers. My VIP customers, I'm always keeping up with. These are the people that are sending me referrals. They're putting people in the school community. Who's done that? Okay, some of those people. Those are the people that are fighting for me. Okay, I have a VIP list. I'm always keeping up with my top 100 clients. I promote them from regular to VIP. I put them on a list, and at least once or twice a month, I'm just checking up on those people. So you need to start to identify them. I have my top 100 client list, and they're like gold to me. The pursuit is like panning for gold. You're actively searching for your ideal client, and you're sifting through the market to find the valuable prospects. I know what my clients are looking for. I know what the problems are, so then I can identify it and solve their problems with my benefits, with my services. Now, who is already buying from you and why did they choose you? I want you to think about that. The reason why you got to start to think about that is you got to have a lens from outside of your body on what you look like, what you sound like, what you talk like. One of the hardest things to do is to look in the mirror and wonder, like, what I buy from me, what's my first impression? What's my eye contact look like? Like you gotta start to self-assess that. Like, are you clean shaven? Do you look like you just rolled out of bed most of the time in front of a prospect? Is your hair not done? And then start to adjust it. Okay, I want you to analyze your top customers. Write this down. What kind of demographic are they in? What kind of occupations do they have? What kind of income are we looking for? What kind of location, right? We need to know that. Personally, one of the biggest things that I'm really good at. Hey, it's the Macklin Twins. Thanks for watching the video. Listen, if you want our free word track guide, 52 word tracks will teach you how to dominate sales, just text 480-780-2203. It'll teach you how to dominate. Let's get back to the video. Text us, let's go. I'm good at going out to events with Andy and identifying clients that would get along really well with Andy. Like, I'm really good at identifying his ICPs. Nate Tilley was one of them. And I'm like, Nate, you suck at this. He's like, thank you so much. I appreciate it, sir. I'm like, boom, that's my kind of guy. You know, he has an athlete mentality. A lot of the people that get along good with Andy are guys that have this corporate athlete mentality. Feel people, I know it. I'm like, boom, that's my guy, boom. And I get real close to him and I build a good relationship, not based off what I can get from him. I actually go in there figuring out with my ICP, what are their problems? I go deep in the conversations. Write this down. Go deeper. Go deeper. You know what, guys? When you're in the pursuit of prospecting, if you can't get to this, which is number 2, is build trust and establish a long-lasting business relationship. Let's talk about relationship building, guys. Who's single on this call? Raise your hands, you non-closing, okay? Listen, do you guys realize that sales transfers into you being able to find the love of your life? So maybe you guys should take this a little bit more seriously. Okay, so maybe we just think about, why don't we learn how to build relationships, sell, influence, persuade, so we can get the love of our life, okay? Since we're just not making but you're gonna have to make money too. Like, they want to be a part of, like, somebody who's successful and somebody who's winning. So let's get it all. And by the way, those of you that have a relationship, wouldn't it be good to go home every day and sell them back on why they fell in love with you? Wouldn't it be good to go home every day and have that prove it mentality that you have to have in sales? You know, when you start back at 0 every month and you have to go back and restart, why don't you do that with your wife? Why don't you go back to 0 every single day and see how good you can make her fall in love with you again? And those of you that have husbands, do the same thing. If you just put massive action in the areas you're not getting progress into, Aaron Dodd, right now, you will change. But as we build relationships, I want you to write this down. First impressions matter. First impressions, dress well, make eye contact, show enthusiasm. I have heard sales trainers on the internet talk about enthusiasm is the old way of selling. Great, dude. Yeah, because I want to buy from somebody who's not enthusiastic about their life or their product. Half the world is not enthusiastic about and they're just docile, like they're just dead inside. I don't want to be around people like that. My whole life, people told me to back my energy down. And I was the top salesperson in my industry at what I did, and they still told me, that's stupid, you bring too much. I'm like, bro, you. I'm going to bring as much as I possibly can, and I'm not telling you be a sporadic, crazy person. I'm saying if I get an old person who has lower energy, can I just increase my energy about 10 or 15% above them so then they have a little bit better of a day? They look and they see that I actually love my life, I love my business, I love my product, I love my team. The love is going on in Evan's life at a big level, so he's enthusiastic, and it's gonna make them wanna be closer to me because they're not getting that anywhere they go? Or do I need to just mirror them exactly? That's bull. Mirror them, but like mirror them above them. Always go 10 or 15% more than your prospect. I guarantee you it'll work. So I want you to write this down. Transfer of enthusiasm. Selling is a transfer of enthusiasm. If you're not genuinely enthusiastic, why should I be? Why should I be enthusiastic about your product if you're not? Do you radiate positivity? And here's how you do it. You get used to making people feel powerful by simply learning how to talk to them, finding out what's important to them, getting them to talk about themselves. Right when you see them, giving them a hug. Some of you guys are like, oh, I'm not a hugger, I'm so alpha. Yeah, bro. Wait, watch when you walk in the Elliott group how many alpha lions are hugging you in the den. It'll feel amazing. There's not one person that I haven't, dude, I've walked up to the biggest sons of the world and just giving them a hug, and I seen them put their head on my shoulder and be like they're all snuggly. I'm like, get your snuggle. I didn't say snuggle, but I'm telling you right now, man, hey, listen, Mr. Customer, real quick, welcome into our store. Before we start anything real quick, look, I just want to tell you, I really love my job and I'm excited you're here. Give me a hug. My name's Evan. Okay, look at my eyes. Do they look cold? Do I look like a killer? Do I look like a serial killer? Am I dressed good? Do I look well? Do I smell good? Do I smell like cigarettes? No! I smell like it's game day. By the way, I've been working on my fitness too. I'm just telling you. They kind of want to rub up against your boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Okay. But then write this down. Build rapport, for God's sakes. People hate being sold, but they love shopping with their friends. They hate to be sold, but they love shopping with their friends. When they're shopping with me, I'm basically their guide, man. I'm like, dude, listen, there's 400 cars out there. Before we go look, just tell me a couple of things. You know, what are you looking for? Why are you looking for it? And I start to build some rapport. I start to ask them a couple of questions. Cool, is it gonna be for you, your wife? Who's there? Who's gonna be making decisions with you? Cool, what do you do for work? Are you gonna be driving this thing back and forth to work? What do you do for a living? Boom, I'm like I'm getting everything I need out of them. Some of you guys aren't as quick as I can build rapport, so I'm going to give you a little hack. Before you do anything, before you go to sell them, if you have the opportunity in your presentation to sit down and just do a Ben Franklin, which is just basically putting a T down a piece of paper and writing the pros and cons and what they're looking for. Literally just write a menu. This might sound disrespectful, but I'm not being disrespectful. Like, take an order. Be an order taker for a second. Sit them down like you work for McDonald's and say, sir, what can I get you? What would you like today? Like, write it down. Small fry? Okay, cool. Like, literally write it down. I'm not being rude. I'm being serious. Some of my salespeople that I used to train back in the day, I could kind of get the rapport quick because like I'm pretty sure of myself. But some of them, they're kind of like looking up, not like looking them in the eye. It's a little weird. So I'm like, hey, if I say something and I'm like, hey, we believe that salespeople should put on a good show worth paying for. We believe that salespeople should know the basics. We believe that everybody should be able to overcome any objection and close any deal every time for all the money. Okay, do you believe that? And they're like, yeah. Okay, so I start off with the same shit, like what we believe. And then before I get into the sale, I'm like, hey, and before I get into the presentation, Julian, and I go back to what I wrote down about the prospect, and I did a little bit of research. I'm like, Julian, Spencer, man, I was looking at your guys' Facebook, man. It looks like you guys were in Grand Rapids a couple of weeks ago. You were doing X, Y, and Z. Tell me a little bit about that, man. You guys were having fun. I start to build 5-10 minutes of rapport. Oh, no way, were your kids there? What are your kids' names? I'm writing them down. I'm getting ready to send them shit after this call. I'm like, oh, tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about that. Man, that's so cool. And I'm building that rapport, okay? So I want you to write this down. Listen to your prospects and encourage them to talk about themselves and make them feel great. Listen to your prospects, encourage them to talk about themselves and make them feel great. Okay? Write this down. Leaving a lasting impression by focusing on building a connection rather than making a sale. I know that sounds opposite from everything that you've ever heard. Everything you've heard, throw it out the window. I'm telling you how I've been able to do it and sell millions of dollars and millions of dollars worth of I'm focusing on the connection, you're focusing on the money. I'm focusing on what they're saying, you're focusing on the smart comments that are gonna come out of your mouth. I'm focusing on their kids and what they said, and I'm being empathetic, and I can't wait to build a customer for life, and you're just thinking with your commission breath, and they can smell it. They can smell it. You're like, oh, you're like talking, but they can see you thinking about your mortgage payment. And I'm over here thinking about how I can build this friend for life that's gonna get me 4 to 6 referrals in my system. They're gonna be on social media telling everybody about me. We're gonna be smacking hands. I'm gonna be smacking them on the I'm gonna be like kissing them on the forehead, and you're over here thinking about the BS. I'm telling you right now, a lot of us, when we go in to build rapport, we do it the wrong way, and we simply have the commission breath. Here, guys, pause for a second. I'm gonna throw this on my phone. Ryan's got a Zoom. I got four more steps, guys. Look at Big Ryan. Big Ryan, get in here.
We learned something, folks. Come on.
Come on.
Look at that.
Come on. All right, look, I can do this thing anywhere, anytime because I am battle tested. Everybody say battle tested. That means if something comes your way and you're in the middle of a presentation or things get thrown your way, do you get off? Do you get a little poo-poo pants? Nope, not me. Okay, step number 3. Uncover your prospect's true needs and motivation. Okay, I want you to write this down. Light the spark. That's step number 3. Andy would draw a castle and he would always put a little circle on the castle. And every time Andy's talking, he's like, you have to find the hole in someone's castle. You have to. And they might slip up and say it very lightly. Very lightly. Find that hole. You have to identify what's their pain point. I want you to write that down. Number 1, discovery questions. What's their pain point? Identify the number 1 problem they are facing. Think about it for a second. Don't throw up and have the same regurgitated sales pitch that every person came to their door and used. Have a different pitch that's tailored to their specific problem. The second they say it, you should be such a good salesperson that you're like, damn, Mr. Customer, so what you're telling me is this. Right now with inflation going up, you said that your bills are going up and everything is harder to afford. You got 3 kids. Like you just told me that little Billy, little Tommy, little Susie, when you went back to even go get them backpacks, that money was more expensive and you couldn't afford to get them 3 or 4 different things. But if your bill was $150 lower a month, like that would help you out tremendously. Am I right? You feel me? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's what I do. That's what I do. I can help you with that. Like, I got you. I got you. Now, here, real quick, let me come inside real quick and show you 2 or 3 things that right now, whether you make a decision on it today, I don't even care. I don't even care if you make a decision on it today. I'm going to show you exactly how you can save money through our system. Just like I've shown thousands of people like you, Mr. Customer. What's their price point? Write this down. Determine if they can afford your product or service. Some of you guys are pitching people that are way outside of your price point. Or on the other hand, some of you guys are so damn greedy, if you just sold it for a fair deal between the 2 of you, you'd probably sell more. But you're trying to club every single deal and knock every single one of them out of the park. Bro, I'm not telling you to cut the gross and be a volume salesperson like crazy, but I am telling you that some of you guys, if you got greedy and you got more seedy, understand what I just said. If you got less greedy and you got more seedy, when I talked about prospecting, that's planting more seeds. See, my schedule is always filled up. So if I have to take less deals, if I've got to take less deals, but my whole calendar is full with appointments, do you think that I care about letting a couple clients win but still being able to get a deal and still being able to get momentum, and I'm not being greedy, but I'm being more seedy with my schedule, planting seeds, farming them? Yes. You see the difference between a pro and an amateur? Okay, write this down. Who's the point person? Ensure you're speaking to the right person that's making the decision. And be okay with figuring out when is a good time, making sure you can get all the decision makers together at once. Some of you guys also have to realize, a lot of the times when you get the women in the room, you have the decision maker. But you're so interested in broing down with the guy that you don't realize how things work in relationships. Women usually make the decisions, guys. Just to kind of break it to most of you guys that don't understand this, Women kind of like, they got some things that guys really like, and if a girl isn't happy, you don't get those rewards. Do you guys understand what I'm saying, or do I have to go deeper? Okay, so also, women in sales situations naturally will stand behind their men and let the men do the talking because they don't want to get involved with it a lot of the times. If you're using the women's name, you're getting the kids involved, you're talking to them, you're making them feel comfortable. When you go to the bathroom, or they do, they're going to talk about if they like you, and that woman will make the decision if her man stays and does the deal. In a majority of the situations, the guy just wants to figure out and solve the damn problem and move on with his life. He don't even care, bro. He just wants to get back to watching football. So you guys got to understand that. I saw so many people bro down in car dealerships with the man and not even get the woman engaged. I don't even want to talk to the guy half the time. I'm like, dude, I love it, bro. Where's your wife at? Okay, oh, nice. Hey, Karen, real quick, do you mind if I talk to you? What's going to be important to you? Yo, is any of the salespeople ask you, like, what's important to your family? Like, how's it going to make this car right now? Like, is this going to fit all the kids? Do they fight when they're next to each other? Should we get a separated row in the center so then that way they're kind of separated, and then that might make your life a little easier? Has a salesman ever asked you that? Do they even care about you? Oh my God, I care about you. And I do, okay? And I really actually do, is the difference between me and most people, okay? Now, the outcome in the discovery process with clear next steps, including the deliverables and the timelines on how work, and then that will light the spark with the customer. Step 4, make the move. Make your move, okay? Make your move. Show your prospects that you can solve their problem, okay? A well-executed demonstration is the key to selling your prospect. Man, I don't know, man. Figure out a way to put some spice on it. I saw so many guys when they were demonstrating the car, there was never any spice on it. We talked about building the rapport. Like, you gotta figure out a way to make your demo also tailored to the problems that they have. When you have that problem, that's the one thing that you focus on, and you really don't focus on much else than that, okay? Use examples, before and after pictures, success stories, something to validate what you're talking about. I have testimonials in my phone. That's like showing a video where you're standing with a client and you've gotten good at video because you're not in your head thinking about all this bullshit. Stop being scared of video and get some damn videos with you and the client talking about how exciting and engaging your stuff was. Make your demo visual, engaging, and full of stories and testimonials related to your prospect's pain. So I'm not going to tell stories that don't relate to the pain. That is a huge key difference between me and everybody else. Step 5, the wrap up. I want you to write this down. This is typically where you're going to have to navigate objections to close a deal. The most common objections will always fall in one of these categories. All right, so the objections fall in these exact buckets: product, time, money, stall. Start by agreeing with your clients, even if you don't. Hey, I'm with you, Mr. Customer. And then go to this. Isolate the objection by asking, other than that objection, is there any other reason you wouldn't do this right now? Isolate the objection by asking, other than that objection, is there any reason why you wouldn't do this right now? And then shut up and listen. Steer the conversation with a strategic response to what they said. If they're like, Evan, I love it, but really the price is the thing that's holding me back. I'm like, hey, other than that objection, is there any other reason why you wouldn't move forward? So you're 100% certain that if the price was, if we worked on the price or something changed on the price, you'd be okay with moving forward. Are we cool? Okay, now I've isolated the objection. Now with price, I might be able to do some money justification on why this product saves them time, money, energy. Like, I can actually break it down. And then once I can validate it, I'm not trying to handle multiple objections. Or maybe it's the payment, and then I can break down why my product solves their problem and it's worth doing business right now. Listen to their feedback and then steer the conversation with strategic responses and make them from the heart, guys. Everybody say from the heart, from the heart, from the heart. Make them from the heart. Don't think about your pocketbook. Think about how you're actually solving this client's problem. Formulate a win-win proposal that addresses their concerns while protecting both interests, okay? I want you to write that down. Formulate that win-win proposal that addresses everybody's concerns and helps us win. All right, last thing, number 6. There's no way you could be a 7-figure earner if you don't handle this. Follow up, follow through, and follow back. Have a process that regularly checks in with the clients that are important to you, that are red zones, that are getting ready to cross the finish line, but you just need an extra push. Maybe you can get one of your managers, Luke, somebody that can get them across the finish line. Know who those people are. Always know who your top 3 or 4 deals are that are getting ready to close, but maybe you need a second face. But you're gonna have to show those people that you're relentless. You're gonna have to, and then follow through. Do what you said you will. If you promise you're gonna be there at 5, be there at 5. If you promise that you're gonna call them at 7:30 tonight, call them at 7:30. If you promise them something in the deal, follow through with it so that way they get it. That way they're happy. That way they refer you more people, and then follow back. Reconnect with each client who didn't convert the first time and keep in touch with your past clients. It's a cycle. Look what I just did. I showed you from A to prospecting to being on the hunt to identifying your client all the way through following up and everything in between. That's all you need to know. And watch it 4 or 5 times because I talk so fast, okay? But I want you guys to master this. If you can master each step, I really take every one of you guys like seriously about being in my network, like having my phone number, being able to rely on each other. And we look up in a year from now and some of you guys have recreated your life. You never know what's gonna happen like on the other end of just taking good care of the people around you. So take care of this community, take care of yourself, take better care of your health, take better care of your relationships, take better care of your clients. Don't ever, ever let your clients see you not self-developing even harder than them. Like, you become the best at what you do, and I guarantee you, if you're feeling like you're putting in that work too, your people are gonna sign up just because they can feel that progress in your life, okay? I love you guys. Thank you. Hey, it's the Macklin Twins. Thanks for watching the video. Listen, if you want our free word track guide, 52 word tracks that'll teach you how to dominate sales, just text 480-780-2203. It'll teach you how to dominate. Text us. Let's go.